Hi, I'm Morduchowicz. I'm a junior at Brown University and engineering intern at Perfect Market. Uh, I'm going to talk about two software development methodologies, Perfect Market's approach to them, and how my work fits into that and what I've learned. So making a functional piece of software can be a monumental task depending on the problem that you're trying to solve. For a really difficult problem, there can be countless lines of code with different pieces running at different times, written by different people, and that are all interdependent. In order to cut down on confusion and mistakes, many software development methodologies have been created. Two significant software development methodologies are the Waterfall model and Scrum, which is a subset of Agile. Um, these methodologies outline what steps a developer must take in order to more easily create a working piece of software. The more traditional approach is the waterfall model. There are five basic steps in the waterfall model. The first is requirement specification, which is basically outlining the problem that you're trying to solve. You specify what the product must do and can also specify additional constraints like an upper limit on performance time. The next step is design. At this stage, you outline how you're going to go about solving the problem you specified in the first stage. The next is implementation, which is basically just writing the code. Afterwards is verification, which is testing. And finally, you release the code and reach the final step, which is maintenance. At this step, you fix problems that come up that you may have missed in the previous step and also implement improvements. In the waterfall approach, time spent early in the process pays off in later stages. If you take your time specifying exactly what the program must do and carefully design a plan to make that happen, the coding portion is less prone to errors and inefficiency. Early mistakes, however, make the later stages much more difficult. The waterfall approach basically makes developers make key decisions up front so that they go into the later portions of software development with a clear idea of what they must do. It's important to note that while it does follow a downward flow, sometimes if a requirement or the design is really off, you can loop back to the earlier stages. Scrum is a newer software development methodology that emphasizes multiple iterations, cross-functional collaboration, and adaptability to change. It's a reference to rugby because it is a methodology that strives to allow the development team to go the distance as a unit, passing the ball back and forth. Product development in Scrum is broken up into many small development cycles called sprints. Before each sprint, a planning meeting is held where tasks and goals for the sprint are decided and moved from the product to the sprint backlog. Requirements are given, but not at the level of detail of the waterfall model. Instead, requirements are continuously updated throughout the process. During each sprint, daily Scrum meetings are held. They are typically short updates to everyone's progress. Three questions are usually asked. What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? And is there anything blocking your progress? One significant difference between the Scrum and Waterfall approaches is the timing of the testing. Many practitioners of Scrum use test-driven development, which requires creating a suite of failing tests before the coding of the actual product. This helps ensure that the product is designed to the requirements and allows for faster iteration speed. As each sprint comes to a close, the items on the sprint backlog are expected to be fully complete, which allows for regular delivery of working pieces of code as signs of progress to the client. After a sprint, a review meeting is held where team members review how the last sprint went, how improvements can be made in the future, and afterwards a new sprint planning meeting is held and the whole process begins again. The Scrum process allows for dynamic adaptation to change through iterative development and encourages face-to-face collaboration. Practitioners believe that they cannot fully understand a problem initially and instead focus on maximizing ability to respond to change. Perfect Market uses a combination of both software development philosophies. We incorporate aspects of the waterfall model's early planning and testing methodology and aspects of Scrum's iterative collaborative approach. Development of a piece of software starts off with product managers listening to clients and defining product specifications. Each functionality is prioritized and assigned at the beginning of a milestone, which is Perfect Market's version of a sprint, to one or more people. After the first big meeting, there are daily scrums that are very similar to the scrums described in the previous slide. One major difference is the level of detail in the requirements given for each feature. Perfect Market does not define all the requirements and design beforehand completely like in the waterfall model, but it doesn't have the bare bones requirements of Scrum. It's somewhere in between. As the end of a milestone approaches, a feature freeze occurs where no new features are allowed to be added to the current milestone. Then the QA team checks the code and provides feedback to developers, who then update the code to reflect that feedback. Testing happens after the code is written, which is something we take from Waterfall. A short time after the feature freeze, a code freeze is put into effect and the product is launched. Another meeting is called and new tasks are assigned for the next milestone, and the whole process begins again. So my work fits into this in that I help speed up two portions of our development cycle. My major task this summer is to implement a suite of tests that will automatically test our Vault product. The Vault product, which you can see on the screen right now, is a web-based user interface for clients to analyze and manage the services we provide. It's written in JavaScript using a library called extjs, and I'm running the test using a framework called Siesta, which you can see on the slides. My work will make the testing and maintenance portion of our development cycle less difficult. Instead of having somebody manually check each feature of the vault for bugs at each cycle, my tests can be run. These tests can be used to both verify that new code does not break the existing functionalities of the vault, as well as verify that the vault is continuously working well. This will in turn help our iterative process become more streamlined by cutting down on time spent on QA. The principles of Scrum and the waterfall model that Perfect Market incorporates have been very helpful to me so far. The daily Scrums have helped me organize my work and have motivated me to work hard so that I have a lot to report. They have also given me a better understanding of where the team is, what products are being developed, and who I can go to ask for help. The principle of spending a good amount of time thinking about requirements and design before working from the waterfall model has helped keep my tasks organized and my coding efficient. One of the most valuable things that I've gained from this internship so far is effective software development practices and organizational skills, and I hope I was able to impart some of that on you guys today. Thank you. Again, my name is Morduchowicz, and if you have any questions, feel free to email me at the email address on the screen.